I am trying to understand the United States politics, and one of the easiest way I thought I would be in a position to at least have an idea of how American politics operates is to have an idea of what is actually in their constitution. So I am not saying I'm going to be a specialist when it comes to the American Constitution, but I am going to have an idea of how their constitution operates. And there's a book which I'm currently reading titled With the Elites. And basically, what the author is trying to say is that the Constitution, the American Constitution, which was written more than 250 years ago, was designed not to take care of the problems or the challenges of the majority, but to take care of the challenges or to take care of the resources of the a few elites. That's basically what that book is trying to illustrate. But you need also to remember that this author may be biased in one way or another. So I am not going to limit my own experience to this author alone. But as time moves forward, I am going to read some federal papers which have been recommended and other books which probably their authors may have a different perspective when it comes to the American Constitution. But for this video, these thoughts are majorly going to be influenced by what I've already learned from this book. So, as I said, this author has actually said that the constitution, which was established 250 years ago by a few individuals who were well off in their own capacity, and they were actually whites. That's something which we should take into consideration. They established or they wrote this constitution not actually trying to figure out how they are going to uplift the majority from their poverty or their challenges which were facing them at that time. But their main goal was how to gather for their well-being and also to maintain their status. So during this time, there were slaves who were owned by the whites, and also there were those Native Americans, the Indians, who were being taxed, and also there were majority of those individuals who didn't have their resources, who didn't have property, who were also now whites. And that's something which most individuals, especially who are from the American context, need to take into consideration. In that, probably, despite there being some differences in terms of race, maybe culture, and also religion or beliefs, but some of the problems which most Americans face, they are similar. It's like the society as a whole, whether you are from Europe, the South American continent, and also we have Africa, Asia, all of these countries, we actually have two races. That is, those who have and those who don't have. That's basically how the American Constitution was established. Now, let me discuss what was actually the main purpose of this video. In that, there is an electoral college which is famous in the United States, and I have come to realize that it is through that electoral college that most individuals, especially the majority who are the individuals who fought for their leader who they want in the United States as a president, they actually don't do what their will some of the time is not actually taken into consideration. And how is that being done? I realized that in the United States there have been like 20 times where a president was elected who was not elected by the majority, and that's how weird it is. I believe the latest individual who won the election in electoral college, but not by the majority of the voters, that is individual persons, was Donald Trump. I believe that was the individual. So you will realize that even though most Americans have this idea that the United States is a democracy, I have realized that the electoral college, it's not my realization because it is something which I have also consumed from somebody. They need to realize that the electoral college was put there in place by the individuals who wrote the constitution in order to take care of those majority of the voters of making decisions, which as these framers, these individuals who established the constitution said that they put the electoral college, or their main thought was to put the electoral college in place in order to regulate the force of the mob, the individuals who were out of doors. Because I also had this idea that there were some individuals like we have Washington, I believe those was one of the individuals. One of the framers said that individuals who are left to be rogue, to be kind of who can decide to establish common rules and regulations by a popular vote, they are dangerous, or they are a menace to their own government. So the likes of electoral college was put in place in order to ensure that the individuals, the majority, don't become so rogue in that they can establish or they can elect an individual who is so popular, who is going actually to influence or to make a challenging decision to those if a few individuals who are in the elite society. So there is also one thing I need you to also have an understanding of. The Constitution, more especially in the United States, is there to prevent one of the crucial thing which it prevents or protects is the property. And that's why the individuals who are always taken care of first before the ordinary people are in a position even to be considered are the few elites who have their resources, who have their property in the United States. So above anything else, the property was the first priority, which the Constitution was responsible in taking care of. That's why the individuals who are so powerful in terms of resources are able to influence the decisions which are being made by the government. You as a majority, you can sing, you can dance, sing, freedom. We as the United States are free individuals, but in the real sense, you don't have any power. And individuals who are in elite position, who have resources, may decide to relinquish some power to you, in that for you to be permused, that you at least have some power. But in the real sense, the likes of Elon Musk, we have this individual who I saw having some discussions and argument with Tucker Carlson, Kevin O'Reilly. So, like Kevin O'Reilly, let's say for instance, I've not followed that topic into a deeper or much deeper research, but I am going to give some ideas because I've come across some of what he was trying to say. He wants to acquire, I believe it's like 40,000 hectares of land in Utah, and this is going to create an a powerful station, something like that, of artificial intelligence. Now, these are individuals who the government can listen to, because they have the resources, they have the power to influence what is being done by the government. And those individuals who are in Utah, who are going to be influenced directly, probably their grievances, their problems, their queries are not going to be taken care of, because the individuals who have the resources, the likes of Kevin O'Reilly, we have Elon Musk, Tim Cook, we have Larry Ellison. Those are the individuals who the government or the constitution was put in place to take care of first. And also in the next video, I am going probably to share some of the complications which were put, or the constitution was designed in order to have those complications in place in order to ensure the beliefs or the ideals of the populace, of the majority, will not actually get ascended or established as a law, while those of the elites, there is efficiency in how their problems or their queries are being handled by the constitution. If you are interested in this kind of videos, and if you are interested to understand probably more about the United States politics, I'm going to share my thoughts and experience from a far distance. Like, subscribe, and also don't forget to share. See you in my next one.